Alright, I'm doing an update video. Just this is more just like a status kind of update video. So, nothing serious, but like anyone watches my stuff still. So unfortunately, let's just say I'm disappointed with like Donald Trump right now. Because honestly, I mean, he used to, and you can look up for videos and stuff like that. With the recent stuff coming out, I know maybe I'm a few weeks late and stuff like that, but still, I think it's still relevant even to this day. As far as it goes, I'm disappointed with what the Trump administration has done, or what they have done so far with the Epstein files. Because honestly, that's something that was a big deal, but onto the campaign trail for 2024, because I've never heard of what the Epstein stuff was. I only just recently learned about it. I'm like, oh, nice, release the Epstein files. Like, anyway, long story short, Trump, he didn't release it. And honestly, I can definitely like, before I continue on, I just want to say I do approve of like the whole business thing, tariffs on China or the other countries, whatever it may be. Just all this other stuff that he's doing. I approve of that. But as far as it goes with the Epstein files, that's about the biggest disappointment I've had so far. Just the second biggest, actually. The first one was the denial of the Armenian genocide, which I was very disappointed with that. It made me depressed. I get, on the campaign trail, he did make a promise to it, but on the campaign trail, he talked about the Armenians. And it's like, so you're gonna talk about the Armenians, but you're not gonna recognize their genocide. That's disappointing. The second one would be the Epstein files, and honestly, how he's been acting, like trying to like gaslight. I don't say gaslight the public, because I don't really know about that. But I will say he is like doing things that I just do not approve of. It's like blaming the Democrats and all that stuff. It's like, you promised it, dude. You promised to release the Epstein files. Where the heck are the files? Like, it's just disappointing because apparently the DOJ, that was something Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, all these guys were clamoring about. But then, I think Pam Bondi, I think I already said her name, but still, that's something all these guys were like talking about. And when it came down to it, where was the files? Apparently the DOJ came out with a summary or some type of report, and apparently it talked about how there were no Epstein files, client list, there was no proof of Epstein blackmailing people or that he killed himself. And then they showed us 10-hour footage, and apparently not the hallway of where Epstein's like cell was, which is like right next door. No, that footage is gone, actually, that's deleted. But the footage for the hallway, because there's a camera staring at another one where the hallway is of where Epstein was being held, supposedly. And honestly, they showed 10 hours of it fully, but there's 1 minute of it left. I think it's like 11:50 something, 11:58 I think, or 11:59, and then it's 1 minute missing, and it skips over to 12:02 I think. I can't remember if AM, PM or not, but still, I guess it'd be AM or PM and AM, because it goes to 12 o'clock, so just to say the least, but still, I digress. It's like seeing Trump talk about this and then try to not gaslight, but it does seem like he's really trying to move away from this issue, and it's like, you promised it. You promised to release Epstein files, all this stuff. Where are the files? And that's so like disappointing. And again, I don't want to overlook. Excuse me. I don't want to overlook his other successes like the tariffs, the border security, all that stuff. Yeah, so forth and so on. He's doing okay there, actually pretty good. But still, it's like the Epstein files. You promised to release it. He didn't deliver on that. And honestly, admittedly, I gave him benefit of the doubt because we got this far. We got this far. It's like, why would I not trust him then? We trusted him then. He delivered on a lot of his promises. Let's trust him now. We'll see how things work out. And obviously, it's not working out. And it's like there's so many, like they talked about it so much on podcasts, on camera. What was the point of the binders? Like, what was straight up the point of the binders themselves? I remember it was a few months ago, and the biggest mega influencers, online influencers, I don't know, I just know that these people are like part of MAGA and stuff. Like they got binders that said Phase 1 Epstein files. And when they opened it, well, there was literally nothing in it. It's like, well, that's disappointing. I don't understand why that happened. It's so disappointing. And honestly, I see like Trump trying to he's continued to trying to move away from that statement or trying to fix it, or I don't know if I would say fix it, but you kind of get my point, you guys. Still, I think the whole point is like just that it's disappointing. This is before July 8th, and I'll mention why I'm talking about the dates. But as far as it goes, it's just the most disappointing time. Those are the two most disappointments I've had with the Trump administration. The denial of the Armenian genocide, but they didn't run on that promise, so, but still, it's like a genocide. Like, it's stupid. Not the genocide, the freaking denial. Like, what was the point of bringing up the Armenians? Either way. But then you get the Epstein files not being released, and it's like, you ran on that promise of releasing them. I mean, you can find a specific interview of him talking with an interviewer, and the interviewer asks him, released on the 9/11 stuff, files, release the freaking JFK files. He's like, yeah. Then with the Epstein files, he's like, yeah. It's like, and then go there right now, and it's like, it's just disappointing, man. Sorry for the background and all that stuff. In a different room. I figured I'd do a video. I'm doing it at night, of course, but I figured I'd do it in a room, so it's not adjacent to another room. So you can probably still hear some noises. Then I can talk more freely. I hope I can anyway, without others like hearing me and such. So yeah, no. Up until like July 8th, I was depressed. I was disappointed. I'm like, those are the two like biggest things like I'm disappointed with, and it's just the biggest disappointment I've had. Yes, I know Trump has had many other successes. I'm glad with that, but as far as it goes, the denial of the Armenian genocide, and then the Epstein files not being released. That's the biggest disappointment I've had. And it seems like I don't want to say he's gaslighting the Republicans or people who are like wanting to look forward to this, but it's like he promised that he would run on that, and it's just disappointing. But either way, I was getting depressed with that. I was getting more depressed, more disappointed, and well, really just that. I was just getting more depressed and disappointed. That wasn't until this is a good news. That wasn't until July 8th. That's gonna be weird because it's like, how's that good news? I'll explain. Zack Snyder, I guess there was a bunch of bots that were coming out hating on Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Zack Snyder, mostly the two movies that he did. So I'm like, by the time I heard that bot, I'm like, why is Zack Snyder's name coming up? But then I forgot the Superman movie is out right now, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So, and honestly, I'm kind of glad because I was getting disappointed with politics, what was going on with the Trump administration. So I'm kind of glad that those haters brought up Zack Snyder and such, because I went back to watch Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. I haven't watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. Before I have, but now I can't rewatch it right now. But still, I just rewatched Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, or MLS and BVS. And honestly, I gotta say it's pretty good. It's still good actually. I love those movies. I love that version of Superman, Zack Snyder's. I didn't really like Christopher Reeves. I didn't like the Superman LOS Smallville. It's not my type. Like, no offense, I know people really like those a lot, but as far as for me, Man of Steel, BVS, those are the ones. So there's a good news here and there, and honestly, seeing how this new Superman movie is doing, honestly, I listen to spoiler reviews here and there, so you know, and so I didn't have to like watch the movie itself. Because last time I got excited about a movie, I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be good. It was Wonder Woman 84. Then I watched the not even the spoiler reviews. I watched the regular review. Then I saw the reaction. I'm like, okay, it's not good. Yeah. Still, the whole Epstein stuff, Trump, denial of the Armenian genocide, the freaking Epstein stuff that Trump's denied. It's like, that's the most disappointment I've had with the Trump administration so far. I again, approve of the other stuff. Those two things, disappointing, honestly. The most disappointment I've had, anyway. But as far as it goes, he's still doing good. I know that. I'll go off that, or not go off. I'll talk about that later, but I just want to talk about like the superhero stuff with like Snyder and such. So we watched Man of Steel, we watched MOS and BVS, and honestly, I gotta say, those movies still hold up to this day. I see a bunch of people, like random people, coming out with like videos and such stuff like that, hating on Zack Snyder, and I'm like, where did you come from exactly? It's like it's like a random channel of some type, and it's like, where did that come from? So, but either way, it's like, I hear the movie's not doing good. Actually, the movie's actually doing pretty bad. If I'm not gonna lie, and maybe that's an understatement in the future. I don't really know, but as far as it goes, I have my own opinion about the movie. I haven't seen it yet, and honestly, looking at the spoiler reviews and the regular reviews, I don't plan on seeing it. Because honestly, it sounds like 84 just with Superman. It's like, how does it go? How does it go from Man of Steel, it's like awesome fight scenes, BVS is awesome fight scenes, Zack Snyder's just like awesome fight scenes. How does it go from that to this? You know what I mean? It's just insane to me. The fact that can even happen to, I don't know, that's more disappointment, but honestly, it's just a thing, it's a small thing. It's like, we went from the cool fight scenes of Man of Steel, with like General Zod, freaking Kal-El, Fiorel, I think was her name. These awesome fight scenes. We went from this to Superman, the new Superman movies fight scenes, and honestly, I don't even want to watch the fight scenes because honestly, they don't really sound as good. But you know, that's a whole thing for another video if I ever get around to do it. Still, honestly, I don't even know what else to say. Because it's like this, it's disappointing. It's disappointing either way. But at least I get to enjoy like Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, or MOS and BVS. Sorry, and enjoy it for what it is. Too bad I can't watch Justice League though, Zack Snyder's version. But honestly, I gotta say, I guess it's disappointing either way. Because thinking about it, it's like Trump won't release the Epstein files, or they can't or won't, and it's like that's disappointing of itself. He ran on that promise. Sorry, he ran on that promise himself. That's disappointing. And as far as it goes, with like the whole DC universe, that's disappointing of itself as well, because the Superman movie, I don't have any interest to watch it. After watching spoiler reviews, it's like I have no interest to watch it. And honestly, there's something going on with these like reviewers and all that stuff, because they mention, not all of them, some of them, and honestly, it's so just odd. The reason why I say it's odd is because of how they review it. It's like they point out more, but like you got pros and cons, right, in the movie. They point out more cons than pros, and then they say a movie's 7.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 6 out of 10. It's like, hold on, you just said the fight scenes were not as good. So you pointed out more, again, more pros than cons, and it's like, and that's somehow a 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? Yeah. They abandoned the Snyderverse for that, and it's like, yeah. I'll talk about all that stuff later. Either way, I guess I was going to be disappointed either way, but at least I got to enjoy like Man of Steel, or sorry, MOS and BVS for what it was. I got to enjoy those movies at least. But as far as that goes, it's really just about it. I mean, oh, writing. Forgot about that. As far as writing goes, I went way out of topic, honestly. Not with the writing stuff, not topic. Track, way off track, sorry. Because honestly, I haven't been like focusing on my writing. I've been more focused on like anything else really. But I was more focused on politics. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And then all that stuff came on. So, I'm disappointed with the Trump administration, and I just want to clarify, I'm not going to vote Democrat still, even after everything that happened. I'll vote anything else but Democrat. I don't care what it is. Independence, libertarian, it can be freaking libertarian, or Republican. I'm not voting Democrat, because honestly, I don't know what I'm not going to go into that, and then the video is going to be a whole lot longer, and I don't want to keep you guys here any longer than I have to, so I hope, thank you to any who are watching, and thank you for checking this video out. Sorry, I'm really tired, and mostly just disappointed, honestly. See a lot of those restore the Snyderverse people like coming out, and honestly, I don't know. I won't say it's delusional, because honestly, it is a possibility of some type. I know it's strange to say, but honestly, it is a possibility to bring maybe the actors back and continue the Snyderverse, or finish like the Justice League trilogy and stuff like that. So that would be pretty cool. I can definitely see someone saying, well, nah, it's impossible because admittedly, like, Snyder seems to have, like, moved on to, like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to say, but, sorry, just moved on. Let's just say that much. Whether he's expressed any, like, chance of wanting to come back and finish it, I don't really know exactly. I think that would be all up to him. It wouldn't be up to, like, maybe it is up to the fans exactly, but honestly, I think it's all, like, up to him of whether he wants to come back and, finish his whole Justice League trilogy with Henry Cavill, the actors, pretty much. I gotta say though, I was doing an outro, I'm sorry, but I gotta say though, actually no, I'll stop there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. To any who are watching, I don't know who in their right mind would, right? But still, thank you guys for watching, or to any who are watching. Hope you have hope any of you watching have a great day, morning, day, evening, night, wherever you're watching, however you're watching, what time you're watching. And that's really just about it. Hope you guys are just having a great morning, day, evening, night. Hopefully I can make more videos, be more consistent, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless.